Ciao ragazzi and welcome to your favorite Italian.
Buono, 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 sapori napoletano. Piano, 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 it's your favorite Italiano. Salute.
Now, as you know, this is the kitchen where I don't decide what I'm going to cook next, but you are the one who's going to decide. And talk about that, I'm receiving thousands and thousands of messages, suggestions all over my social media and of course on YouTube. And this time we had two recipes that they were really close that you wanted me to make. Number one was the tiramisu, an Italian classic. I love a tiramisu. Number two, you want me to show you how to make pesto alla genovese. I'm guessing spring is coming and the summer is coming, a beautiful plate of pasta, which it tells you summer is here. And I have a big basil plant outside. So I was thinking, should I make the pesto today and then next time I do the tiramisu? Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, first ingredient, let's go get the basilico, the basil, and I'm going to show you how to make pesto alla genovese. Let's go! If you like Italian food and you want to make the pesto recipe more often, let me give you a suggestion. Forget about buying the basil leaves in those silly plastic bags in the supermarket. They are useless. They don't taste of basil, they don't smell of basil. Get yourself basil plant. See this plant here? Used to be like that, this small. You can get it in the supermarket, garden center, repot it. Every other day, put a little bit of water. It's just fantastic. You can't beat the smell of basil when you grow it by yourself. Okay, I think I'm done. I got enough basil. Let's go and cook. First step, we need to wash the basil leaves. Get yourself a nice large bowl and start to pick all the basil leaves, all the basilico. I don't want the stem, I just want the leaves. So, piano piano, take your time, and all the little basil leaves, the big one, everything goes in. Not the little flower, yeah? Not the little flower, just the leaves. Wow, the smell of basilico in the kitchen is insane. Hey, amore, I'm making pasta with pesto for lunch. How about that?
Come, I'm going out for an hour.
Okay, oh, we'll be ready by the time you come back. Yeah, leave it to me.
Make a good one.
Always. Enjoy. The wife is out. Bit of peace and quiet. Also, one other thing I'm going to show you is if you make a big batch, like the one I'm doing now, is how to freeze it and then use it whenever you want. Pesto alla genovese is a classic Italian sauce, which technically I don't know if you can call it a sauce, because to me it's more of a dressing than a sauce. And the reason why I like to do pesto is because not only is great with any pasta, any shape of pasta, but also I use it as a dressing. So when I have my caprese salad, tomato and mozzarella, instead of just putting basil leaves, I drizzle a little bit of paste on top. Or if I have like a grilled chicken or grilled vegetable, I like to use a bit of a pesto dressing, so you get an extra flavor, which is fantastico. She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me. One thing that you could do by the time that you pick all the leaves and wash it and dry, get yourself a large pot with at least 3 liters of water and bring it to the boil. I'm done. Get rid of all the stems and everything that you don't need. So I got my basil leaves here. Guarda come sono belle. The only thing that you have to do, cold water, so we give them a good rinse. I think it's very important to wash the basil leaves, because although it's my plant and I don't put any pesticide, you never know what is going to be on top of the leaves, especially if you get them in the supermarket or garden center. Let me show you how you dry them. And this is an important stage, because we want to make sure that we dry the leaves as good as we can. We don't want the water in the pesto, otherwise it's going to make the pesto, the basil leaves, black. So pick it up, scatter on a tea towel, like this. This is my tip that my grandfather gave me. Do the last check-in if there is any bruised leaves or if there is any yellow leaves. and job done. So what we want to do now is to pick up the tea towel like this and just give it a shake. We're gonna do this a couple of times, yeah? A lot of water is coming out of this basil. Then you get another tea towel, a dry one, and this is how you know that you washed and dried your basil to perfection. See, this is now soaking wet, this towel, because it's absorbed all the water. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing. Cover it, shake it around. The last thing that you want to do is to crush it down and bruise the basil leaves, yeah? See what I'm doing? Just move it around like that. Okay, I'm happy with this. So straight into the bowl again. There you have it, clean and dry basilico. Traditionally, we would do the pesto in a pesto mortar, but I don't have one. So I'm gonna show you the easy way to do it, very quick. I'm sure you all have one of those blitzers. Before we start, let me tell you exactly the ingredients that goes into the pesto. We go pinoli here, pine kernels, then we go aglio, garlic, extra virgin olio d'oliva, which I have in my pizza drizzler, and then basilico. Then we're gonna have to put the cheese. Some people use Parmesan cheese, some people use Grana Padano, some of them use Pecorino Romano. I'll tell you later exactly which one to use. So the first thing we need to do, the garlic. Get yourself a big, this is a huge clove of garlic. Look at that. Enormous. Once you got your garlic, you cut in half. And then what you do, you get rid of the middle of the garlic. That is the bitter side of the garlic, and also is the one that is going to make your breath smells of garlic. So get rid of the middle part, like that. Usually when you do pesto, in the pesto mortar, they will put the oil, they will put the pine kernels, the basil, the garlic, everything together, and they started to smash it, because that's what pesto actually means in Italian. Pesto comes from the word pestare, when you smash it. But I'm not going to do that, because my grandfather gave me a tip when he used to do the pesto, is to completely dissolve the garlic into the oil first, before you put any other ingredients. So, garlic goes in there. Then we're going to pour I'm going to start with about 100 milliliter of extra virgin olive oil. But the good one, yeah? Don't get any rubbish extra virgin olive oil. Give it a good blitz so the garlic dissolves fantastically into the oil. Look at that. Now you got a garlic extra virgin olive oil. So no little pieces of garlic that they're going to go into your mouth, completely dissolved into the extra virgin olive oil. Once you've done that, we're going to start to add the leaves a little bit at a time. I think I got a good 4 handful of basil here. Now when you put the basil into the blitzer, make sure that you don't start to blitz like a mad person, because if you overheat the blades and the basil leaves, what's going to happen? The pesto is going to become darker in color, and we don't want that. We want to keep the radiant, vibrant colors into the basil. So the suggestion is to do it a little pulse at a time. Like that. Piano piano. And also by doing that, you can see if you need a little bit more oil, which in this case, look at that, you definitely need. So more extra virgin olive oil goes in there. Very difficult for me to tell you exactly how much extra virgin olive oil. Yeah, this is something that you need to look, and you need to get the consistency right, which I'm going to show you at the end. So all the basil goes in there, and then we blitz again. Perfetto! What do you do? Every now and then, with a tablespoon, make sure that you press all the basil leaves that goes around the bowl here. Yes! Once you got this consistency, look, because you don't want the basil to be completely a puree, leave some of the texture in there. Once you have this consistency, what I want you to do, get 2, probably 3 Yeah, I think 3 definitely. 3 tablespoons of pine kernels in there, and you do exactly the same thing. Don't over blitz it. See, many other chefs, they completely puree the pine kernels into the oil and the garlic. I don't like to do that because I like to have those little pieces of pine kernels that it gives the texture when you have pasta. Let's see, I'm happy with it. And I don't know if you realize, I haven't put any salt yet. Salt is the last thing that you have to put when you do pesto, because I wanted to get right the saltiness of the cheese. I wanted to make sure that the consistency is right, and then right at the end, we're gonna season with salt. So what you do now, you get your basil puree with the garlic and pinoli into a large bowl, because so far we haven't made pesto yet. So far we just blitzed the basil leaves with garlic and pine kernels. Look at that, the color is fantastic. Okay ragazzi, so far we got a puree of basil leaves, garlic and pine kernels. Now is the time to add the cheese, a little bit more of extra virgin olive oil, and season with salt and pepper. I'm gonna get the cheese. Parmigiano Reggiano. This is the cheese that I'm gonna put into my pesto. Now, a lot of Italians, they do 50% of Parmigiano Reggiano, 50% of Pecorino Romano. Some others, they do Grana Padano and Pecorino. Parmigiano Reggiano, you cannot go wrong, okay? So, grate it. What do you need is about 100 to 150 grams of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Whatever you do, please, please, please do not use the cheese that is already been grated in those plastic bags. That it tastes rubbish. It's dry. It doesn't really have the flavor that you want for the pesto. So freshly grated Parmesan cheese, or Pecorino Romano, or Pecorino from Sardinia, or Grana Padano, whatever you got. Cheese straight into the basil, like that. Now mix everything together. Fold the cheese into the pesto, like I'm doing here. Look, can you see now it's all getting nice and thick? That is absolutely fine, because now is the time to use more extra virgin olio di oliva. Try and get the consistency that you want. See, this is the consistency that you want. You want to make sure that it's creamy, but not too runny, right? Because then later on we're going to use a little bit of water from the pasta. I'll show you what to do. With this one you will make 8 portions of pasta. I only need 2 for me and my wife, but the rest I'm going to freeze it, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So once you are at this stage, now it's time to check for seasoning. Allora, definitely salt and pepper. So pepper goes in there, about 10-15 twists of pepper. Now with the salt. For this quantity here, 5 or 6 big pinches of salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. But you know what, start with 4 or 5 first, and then if it needs more, you can always add it later. Perfect. Doesn't need any more salt, no more pepper. I get the Parmigiano Reggiano that comes through beautifully, the garlic, the pinoli, the basil. The freshness of the basil is just excellent. Pesto done. Make sure that your water is boiling. Now, at this point, what you want to do, I have between 3 and 4 liters of water. You know me, whenever I cook pasta, I like to use a large pot, loads of water in there, because I want the pasta to move into the water. I don't put any oil on top because that is useless. Waste of time and waste of money, because the oil is going to sit on top and the pasta is going to be on the bottom. I still don't know who came up with that idea, but it's the most useless tip ever. Make sure that the water is boiling. It's got a bubble, because what's happening with the bubble is going to help the pasta to separate. Pasta with pesto. You can do with so many different shapes of pasta. Spaghetti, fettuccine, trofie, which is the classic one, the one that is twisty. You can do rigatoni, penne rigate. The one I'm gonna do is this, farfalle, the butterfly pasta. Now, this is a shape that I don't use often, but when I do pesto sauce, I just like the idea of the butterfly pasta, that the pesto is gonna coat each little farfalle. It's gonna be fantastic. The water is boiling. One thing that we have to do is to add salt into the water, otherwise the pasta is gonna be tasteless. We got 3.5 to 4 liters of water, so what you need is a full tablespoon of salt plus another half. Don't panic, it's got 3.5 to 4 liters of water, so 1.5 tablespoons of salt is absolutely perfect. Plus, I'm Italian, so you're gonna have to trust me. Boil. Trust me, once you learn how to make the pesto and cook the pasta to perfection, you're gonna do this recipe over and over and over again. Water is boiling, pasta goes straight in. Like that. And look at that. Look, all the space that the pasta has to move around and cook it. Obviously, we want it al dente, and al dente to perfection, yeah? Every now and then, don't forget to go into the pot and mix the pasta. Okay, by the time that the pasta is cooking, let me show you how do we freeze the pesto. So get yourself a bowl, put the cling film into the bowl, like this. Then what you do, I'm going to use about 1/4 of this pesto. So the remaining one, straight into the bowl with the cling film. And then very easily, you just pick it up, pick up the corner of the cling film, like this. Then you give it a twist, and this goes straight into the freezer. Keep an eye on your pasta, don't forget. Now let me give you a suggestion how you get the perfect al dente bite on the pasta. Wherever it says on the packet to cook, so let's say that it says 10 minutes, to have the perfect al dente bite, just cook 1 minute less than instructed on the packet. Easy. Perfetto. I got the sieve in here. Now you can switch everything off. You don't need the stove anymore. Yeah. Make sure you drain the pasta properly, yeah? Give it a good shake. And this now it goes straight into the pesto. Like that. Pasta with pesto done. Now let me show you the D'Acampo touch. Let me get in the fridge. One thing that we like to do is to add cherry tomatoes cut into quarter and big chunks of mozzarella straight into the pasta. Now what's gonna happen there, you got the tomato that they're gonna absolutely burst into your mouth when you start to eat in the pasta. Then you got the sweet mozzarella, and also cold because it comes from the fridge. Works to perfection, trust me. Then we like to share. I made far too much pasta, but I don't care because I know that Mia is gonna come back from school, she's going to be starving. So in there, basil pesto con I pomodorini, la mozzarella. And this dish is great if you have a barbecue or if you have some friends that are coming around. You can make it half an hour before, leave it on the table. Whenever people come in, there we have it. Pasta with pesto alla genovese, and then of course there is the touch, the D'Acampo touch with the cherry tomato and mozzarella. Guys, you asked, I cooked it. So don't forget to send more suggestions because I'm here for you. Buon appetito. I'm gonna wait for Jessica to come back from shopping. Ciao!
Vieni a cucinare con me. It's cooking time. Basta guardare e you'll be fine. Buono, 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 sapori napoletano. Piano, 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 It's your favorite Italiano. Salute.